Okay, we'll start now. All right, so good morning. Thank you for being here. This session today, as I said, is somewhere between a gentle and an intermediate uh, class, and you could make it as gentle or as intermediate as you'd like. And in this session, I want to invite you to notice the patterns, uh, your thought patterns, your energy patterns, just your perspective, and maybe be willing to consider a new way of looking at things and
Good.
maybe a new way of taking action in your life. In other words, just a new perspective. I was thinking this morning, the first thing I notice are my thoughts when I wake up. And
Yeah.
to be, they're pretty much the same every morning. So I thought maybe I would offer this uh, maybe a possible way to just notice your thoughts, your patterns, and maybe a willingness to want to change them to have a different perspective.
Mm.
So please have an open mind and open heart as we start this class. Maybe you will want to take a different perspective, maybe not. All right, so let us begin. We're going to begin by finding that still point, that quiet. So feel free to lean against a wall, have your legs outstretched or crossed. I'm going to cross mine. And as you prepare for this moment of stillness, sitting up as tall as you can, taking a deep, full breath in and out. And then lower your gaze past your nose or close your eyes completely.
Pardon me, Sylvia. I apologize, but more people need to be muted.
I didn't know that. Thank you. So we're just finding that moment of stillness. So maybe this is the part you love when we start our practice. Maybe it's easy for you to shift into that quiet space and your body relaxes, your mind slows down, and you release everything and just find that Zen. Perhaps it's not so easy for you. Maybe you got a busy mind, a fidgety body. That's okay too. Do what you can. Create the space for your practice. Begin to observe your energy this morning, your thoughts, your body. We're having an observer mind, not a judgmental mind. And again, just as I was mentioning earlier, maybe you have the same habitual thoughts. Maybe it's time for a new shift, a new perspective of looking at things. So now I would like you to start to find your breath. Find your breath. And if you aren't muted, by the way, please mute yourself. And just notice if it's wide or narrow, easy to breathe, hard to breathe. Just observe. You can begin to shape your breath now, maybe reshape it. Stretch it out, lengthen it out. That's it. So we have stillness and we have breath. Last cycle of in and out breath here before we open our eyes. All right, let's open our eyes. We're all here together. Now take your hands together. And if you're not muted, please mute yourself. I think a few more people have joined and I will mute. I will try to mute. So with your hands together at your heart, let's breathe a little more intentionally now. I'm going to count to 5. I'll count to 6. And I'd like you to do all of the breathing in and out through the nose. So together, here we go. I invite you to breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause. And then we'll breathe out. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And pause. Again, inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sit up nice and tall. Relax your face. 5. Relax your shoulders. 6. Pause. Exhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The next 2 cycles, do them on your own, any count that works for you. And then if you're willing, after that last cycle of breath, close your eyes again, keep your palms pressing together, and create an intention for today. Maybe just to see things differently, to feel things differently. And not forgetting that we need to always, in order to grow and for self-growth and realization, constantly check in. We need to release the things that no longer work for us, that are no longer serving us, so to speak, so that we can make room for new things. All right, here we go. Long breath as we circle the arms and stretch all the way up. Join your palms once again, and then back to your heart. If you need to shift your body in your space or recross your legs, this would be an excellent time to do it. All right, and then again, with your inhale, sweep your arms all the way up and entwine your hands. So the palms are just interlaced like this tightly. Now I'd like you to root down into the sitting bones and enjoy lifting the arms, stretching the spine. And on your next exhale, bend to your right. Keep your chest open. Try not to collapse in your chest. And from that supported, grounded position at the base of your tailbone, your sitting bones, press up and then exhale, lean to your left. Good. When you're ready, press all the way up. Now we're going to shift the hands. We're going to kind of turn them inside out, so to speak. Same thing. Enjoy that length, that lift, that grounding. And then lean to your right, keeping the chest and the throat open. Big breath in and out. And then all the way up again. Let's take it to the left. Palms again are inside out. And again, all the way up. Now with those palms inside out, stretch the arms long while you press the sitting bones down. Shoulders are as relaxed as possible. The skin on the face is relaxed. Now notice the full body, how everything feels. Take one more breath. And then as easy as you can, release your palms and float the arms all the way. Good. We can roll the shoulders up, back, and down. We can switch directions. And then again, we're going to come recross the legs if you need to. I guess I need to do that a lot today. Hold on to your legs now or to your knees. And think of lifting your chest, lifting your chin. And think of a small saddle or arch in your back as we come into a seated cow position. As we breathe out intentionally, we're going to press our back towards the wall behind us and our nose towards our heart in a seated cat position. Notice I'm doing it very slow this morning. That's on purpose. Good. Let's come back to that seated cow position. You notice there's an arch in your low back. You're not hurting your neck, but you're tilting your chin up. Softly relax your shoulders. And when you're ready, back to that rounded seated cat, tucking chin to heart. We're going to do 4 more. You can complete these slowly, or you can crank up the speed if you're so inclined. So just move in a way that feels natural to you, in other words. Your eyes can be open or closed. Let's meet in seated cat position when you're ready. And we're going to stay there for a few moments. Again, the back body is leaning towards the wall behind you. Your chin is dropping towards your heart, yet your heart is lifting. You're pulling your belly in, your ribs in, like a corset. All right, and then smoothly let's release to come all the way back up to seated, and take one more circle of those arms all the way up, and then hands come back down to the heart space. All right, so I don't know about you. I woke up with some stuff in my neck yesterday, and I still have it. So we're going to work on some neck releasing. For this, we're going to drop the right ear towards the right shoulder, and instead of lifting it up, let it melt down. See how this is working for you? We don't want to force. With breath, we want to release. And then left hand can reach down towards the ground, or maybe fingertips on the ground. I don't know. Getting that left side of your neck to kind of melt open. Your fingers don't touch, just reach towards the floor. Last breath, and remember, it's up to you to shape your own breath. Maybe wider, maybe deeper. Good, and then hands to the knees, and we come up. Take a moment here. I'm just going to move my mat back a little. Same thing on the other side. We're going to drop the left ear down towards the left shoulder and soften the left shoulder. See what this side of your neck feels like. It's also in your head how you relax your body. So use your thoughts, and then right hand can reach towards the floor, or fingertips can touch the mat or whatever you're sitting on. And again, really refine your breathing technique here for the best release of tension and the most opening you can do for your neck. Hands on the knees and carefully come up. Now say yes and no a few times. We're going to say yes by tilting the chin up and slowly down. And then we're going to come back to center and say no a few times. I just need to adjust something on the phone here. Saying no a few times. And then the next time the chin comes down towards the chest, hold here. And I want you to savor that such a delightful stretch on the back of your neck. And then we're going to circle our head in one direction, nice and slow. Start small. And if it feels all right, small, you maybe go a little bigger or not. So for now, just circling in that one direction. And getting ready to switch opposite direction, starting small. Today I'm feeling that snap, crackle, pop in my neck, but it feels good to loosen everything up. All right, a couple more circles in this direction. And then back to the middle. Let's bring our hands together once again, sit up tall. Shut your eyes and go within. Feel what you feel so far in the very early stages of the morning and of our practice. Remember to try and see things with a fresh perspective through everything we're doing. Let's open the eyes and come down to all fours. So let's release to tabletop position. And you can pad your knees if there's any discomfort. So rather than drop your belly like we usually do as we begin cat and cow, I would like you to contain this area. I'd like you to make sure your knees are under your hips, your shoulders over your wrists, and I'd like you to also kind of spread the fingers and turn the inner arms forward. And then we'll contain or engage the belly. It's going to be very useful as we progress in what we're going to do next. So remember, tall, long spine, not tall, but long spine, long neck, look forward. Remember, you're engaging the belly. Now, hopefully you can see we're turning our toes back, tucking our toes back behind us, spreading all 10 toes and pressing away from the floor as we lift our knees. And I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, only 5. Good. And then slowly bring your knees down and untuck your toes, tap them out. Now relax your belly and come into cow pose, tilting the sitting bones up. Now come into cat pose. Nose towards heart, round your back. That's it. All right, back to that neutral spine with the core engaged. Drawing belly up. Tuck the toes. Here we go again. This time, let's count to 10 if we can. Lift up, hover the knees. 1, 2, 3. If you need to drop down, that's fine. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathe through it. 9. And last one, 10. Slowly float the knees down. Untuck the toes. And you probably want to tap them out just to get that blood flowing again. And then back to our cow. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. So even these simple stretches, seeing them with a fresh perspective. All right, here we go. Last one. Tuck the toes. 10 again, or maybe 5, whatever you prefer. Hover the knees. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Am I counting faster? 3, 2, 1. Release. Untuck the toes, tap out the feet. And inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. Inhale, cow pose. Belly is dropped. Exhale, cat pose. We curl the belly in, nose towards heart. Inhale, relax. Now open the knees wide and stretch back to extended child's position for 2 or 3 breaths. Again, shaping the breath. We have 1 and 2. Just think of the changes we've created in our bodies so far. And 3. Good. All the way up. Keep the knees turned out, big toes together. Let's take a little child's pose twist. Left hand in the middle. And we're going to take our right hand either to the small of our back and twist, or we're going to stretch the right arm up and twist for 4, 3, try to keep your left arm as strong and stable as possible. 2, and 1. Coming out of this twist, if your hand is on the small of your back, please raise it for threading the needle. So right arm underneath the left, and your legs are turned out wide up for threading the needle. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Now we press back up and we switch sides. Right hand is in the middle. You can either open your chest to the left with your left hand on the small part of your back. That's great. Or you can maybe raise your left arm up. 4 breaths here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Release and thread your needle. Left arm under the right. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Press back up. Good. Wiggle or move, shift, make a shift with your knees so that we're back in tabletop. Now everybody just wiggle it out or circle out your hips. Free movement here, whatever you need to do, because every yoga posture, every breath work is helping us grow, shift, break through to be our best self. So start to free up that energy. And when we're finished, let's get ready for downward dog. Scoot your hands maybe a few inches forward, fingers are widespread. Inner arms facing forward, tuck your toes again and raise those hips towards the ceiling. You can step your feet out hip width or wider and warm yourself up here. Maybe you're looking back at your feet or your legs. Maybe you're pedaling out. That's all I'm doing. I'm just pedaling out today. And we are going to raise our legs a little later. And I am going to offer you guys the opportunity to flow if you'd like. Because this, like I said, it's a mix between kind of gentle and kind of intermediate. All right, let's come to our down dog now. The perfect version for you, which might be heels on the ground, legs straight, or it might be legs bent and maybe shaking your head out, relaxed, or somewhere in between. Notice the depth of your breath. Maybe take a deep breath here. All right, and then in a moment, please bend your knees and then look forward and step as many steps as it takes to get you to the front of your mat. And bending forward, fold here. No pressure ever to straighten the legs. Keep the legs relaxed. Any position with your hands, or you can grab your elbows. You can sway, you can pedal it out. You pick. And don't forget to keep your toes widespread and use the feet as the basis, the foundation for everything we're going to do through the rest of the practice. Let's slowly find that flat back. Remembering to breathe deep, and then slowly find that forward fold again. And when you find that second forward fold, feet can be hip width or wider. We're going to walk our hands towards the right, maybe just towards the right foot, or maybe off to the right. Keep your knees bent. Deep breaths here. To the middle again. And then walk your hands left just a little bit or a little more or a lot. And maybe your fingers don't touch the ground, do your best. My legs are really bent, as you can see. I'm not trying to straighten them. Good, and slowly back to center. Now roll it up slowly. You're just pressing into your feet. They're really the foundation for everything we're doing right now. And once you finally roll up, you're going to be in mountain pose, right? So find yourself in a nice, strong mountain pose. Your feet are right underneath you. Rock a little forward and back. It feels kind of nice to massage out the feet. And then take the arms behind you and clasp your hands. We're not turning them inside out, so they're just clasped. You can keep them at your tailbone or reaching down. And find a little lift in your chest. Once you found the perfect lift in your chest, we're just gonna take the hands and bend the arms and take them to that right hip and look over your right shoulder. Still keeping the ribs in, pelvis is tucked, the heart is lifted. Good, and then back to the center, stretch, and then we bend the arms and take them to the left hip. Look over your left shoulder. Good, let's come back to center again. And from here, we're just going to release the hands and take a big stretch all the way up and then hands to heart. You'll notice we're bending our legs as we do this. Bend the legs, take a big stretch, reach the arms up, and then hands to heart. 2 more. Good. The next time you release your hands back, catch the hands one more time. Now let your knees bend appropriately and take a forward fold. And remember, we're releasing what we don't need anymore. What we release releases us. One more breath and then release the hands. Good job. I'd like you to try and step back to a high plank this morning. If working on a high plank level is too much, just do a half plank, put your knees down. So align yourself and kind of contain your belly, contain those muscles in the glutes, the legs, working on the strength now. Nothing's hanging loose. We're really holding in the belly containment. And then we're going to put our knees down and belly to chest to the ground. And then once we land on the belly, cobra with your breath. Maybe low or high. With breath, back to the belly. One more time with breath, cobra. And lower chest and belly. Tuck your toes, lift up to high plank or half plank. Remember, we're containing ourselves here tight. And then hips high to downward facing dog. Feet can be as wide as you'd like them. Play with different distances between your feet. Pedal out. And then I'd like you to anchor through the left foot, maybe even the left heel, and raise that right leg into the air. Hips are level, toes point down. 3-legged dog with square hips. slowly ease into an exhale and knee to nose. With an inhale, refresh, stretch the leg up, and slowly with an exhale, step it to lunge, lower your left knee. Lunge position. Reach up with the arms, take a fresh breath, and then release what doesn't serve. Take a fresh breath, and exhale, release. Last one, take a fresh breath and hold it up, and exhale, release, hands down. Step back to that downward dog. Now I'd like you to again anchor, this time through the right foot, maybe pressing the whole right heel down, and float the left leg into the air, hips are level. Your toes, the left toes point down. Three-legged dog position here, level hips. And with a slow controlled exhale, knee to nose. Refresh, inhale. Exhale, lunge position. Lower your right knee. Inhale, scoop up. Exhale, let it go. Fresh perspective, fresh breath. Release the old, maybe toxic thoughts or actions. Last one, scoop it up and hold. And exhale, release. This time, please step back to a plank. And as long as there's an option, if you want to take it, you can lower knees and belly to cobra or chaturanga to cobra. But see if you'd like to take a little vinyasa and then back to downward facing dog. So maybe you weren't interested in the vinyasa, you just went back to down dog, that's fine. All right, once again, anchor through your left foot, raise the right leg high. Now moving on with your next exhale, knee to nose, push that air out, maybe through your mouth. Take a refreshing inhale, stretch the right leg up. Take an exhale, step it forward. Now we are actually taking warrior two. So I pivoted and pushed down on my left foot, raising the left arm out, the right arm out. And this is a workout for the glutes. So pelvis is tucking, the glutes are engaged. You're not stretching too far forward or back. Try and be in the middle. All right, and then turn to look past your right fingers. Your legs are working, your feet are stretching your yoga mat like it's being pulled in two pieces. A lot of stuff going on. All right, now drop your left hand and scoop up with your right for peaceful warrior. Maybe stretch it back or just keep it reaching up. Now come back to warrior two. Bend the right arm and lightly place it on the thigh and hold the small of your back. As you hold the small of your back, roll your left shoulder back. Open your chest. You can stay here or take extended side angle. Or you can take a real extended side angle if you want to stretch your arm overhead. This is a good time to monitor what your feet are doing. Mine were starting to curl up, so keep them flat and relaxed. Good, and let's press up to peaceful warrior one last time. Good. Now, as we come out of peaceful warrior and plant our hands, you can either keep your left leg off the mat or put it down. And we're going to take one more twist to the right. Just to squeeze out, rinse ourselves out. Good. As we place our right hand down, either step back to down dog and wait for us or take another vinyasa. Follow your breath, not my movement, not my breath, but yours. we'll kind of rest in down dog, so to speak. So we'll rest in down dog, breathing, pedaling, or just being still. All right, who's ready for the next side? Anchor through your right foot, left leg up, exhale knee to nose. With your breath, left leg up, and exhale, step it forward, turn your right foot back and press it down, and ascend into warrior two. Now, as you ascend, let your hip points separate, stretch apart. Let your feet stretch the mat apart. Not too much forward, not too back, but try and have your head, everything over middle. Look past your left hand or close your eyes. Glutes are engaged. Belly is engaged. There's a sense of containment. Last two breaths here. And then if your eyes are closed, please open them. Drop your right hand, raise your left. Peaceful warrior. And let's just flow to side angle now. Let's just go right into it. Left hand, left arm resting on the thigh. Your right hand lovingly holds the small of your back as you open your chest. Look up. Try not to drop your head. Keep your head working, your neck working, or maybe raise your right arm up or overhead for a side angle, your choice. 4, 3, 2, 1. From your side angle, let's come back up to that peaceful warrior, shall we? Press up, and last couple breaths here. Maybe you need to widen the passage of the breath. All right, and then slowly we take it back to warrior two, and hands down for lunge. You can keep the right knee up or put it down, and then twist to the left. 3, 2, 1. Lower your left hand, step back either to plank and take a flow or to down dog. I think I'm going to take downward dog for this time. Everybody follow what your body needs today. All right, let's take a child's pose, shall we? Drop down to your knees. You can turn your knees out or a lot or a little or not at all. And find a comfortable place to be. Controlling the breath here. Maybe noticing you need to rock your hips left and right or massage your head. All that stuff is fine. It's like the toppings on the frozen yogurt, right? Just add whatever you need to the mix. But continue to shape breath. Why? So that you can be healthier. All right, from whatever child's pose you are, make sure your arms are extended forward now. Come back up to down dog. And when you're ready, look forward, walk, step to the front of your mat. And hang out there. Find halfway, the halfway point for you. The one that makes your spine feel the longest and your neck as well. And then fold again. And with the knees soft, come all the way up. Palms will meet overhead. Enjoy that tall stretch. And then palms will come to the center of your heart again. All right, good job. All right, before we move on, let's practice let's give a little gift to our ankles and to our hips. So let's just begin in mountain pose. And for mountain pose, put all the weight in the left foot, and we're going to come to the top of we're going to press into the toes of our right foot. And then we're going to roll out the ankle. The knee and the hip, they're in it as well. But I'm just rolling my ankle, nice slow circles in one direction. And if you need the support of a wall to do this, or a chair, that's fine. I'm giving my toes a nice massage, my ankles. You can also raise your leg and just do it in the air like this, just doing the ankle by itself, both directions, or keep the toe on the ground. So the hip and the knee get the massage as well. All right, so hopefully you've gone both directions, right? Right. Now let's switch back to mountain, grounded. Hands on the hips, put all the weight in the right foot. Now come to your toes, press into your toes of the left foot, and just start to circle out. Again, you can just do the ankle in the air if you'd like, but I like to have all the toes on the ground because everything's getting the work. Switch directions. Try to keep a nice tall spine. Don't lose the work that we've done so far. Good, and then slowing down. All right, let's come back to mountain, just ground. Mountain pose. All right, one more stretch here. I'll turn this way. We're gonna put all the weight on the left foot and take the right leg back. Notice I'm pressing into my toes, but what we're gonna do next is just put the whole top of the foot on the mat. And as you're putting the whole top of the foot on the mat, stretching that right leg back, lift the hips, engage the glutes, contain the belly. You're kind of tucking your pelvis, and we're getting a nice stretch. Have you ever stretched the top of your foot? It feels delightful. And don't forget, we're keeping the strength. We're still doing the work in the left leg too. It feels like we're putting on stockings, energy stockings. That's it. All right, let's see what we've done here. One more breath, and then slowly float the right leg up. Foot is flexed. Reach the arms up, balance. That's it. And back to mountain pose. All right, if you need to shake it out, go ahead. Same thing on the other side. We're going to put all the weight on the right leg. That's the strong leg. Take the left foot back, top of the toes. Remember, lift the hip points, draw the glutes in, the belly in, relax the shoulders. We're getting a nice stretch on the back of that left leg, back of the left ankle. Oh, it feels delightful. And don't lose the work we did in the right leg. Remember the energy stocking. Yep. All right, now ready for our balance. Slide the left knee up, flex the left foot, raise the left arms. Big breath in and a big breath out. One more. And then back to our Tadasana mountain. Excellent. All right, ready for eagle? Remember that song, Fly Like an Eagle? Let's go ahead and circle the arms up. And then right arm crosses under left. You can either hug yourself like you really love yourself here, or you can wrap the arms, any version that you'd like. My knees are kind of springy and soft. I'm going to raise my right leg. I can either balance here or wrap my right leg around my left. Lift your elbows, drop your hips, and fly like an eagle for 5, 4, 3. Try and see it in a different perspective. 2. Tucking the tail for 1. Now release your arms, release your legs, stretch up, and back to Tadasana, back to mountain pose. Take a deep breath here. And shake it out. We can shake it out or roll out our shoulders before we do Eagle, Garudasana on the other side. I forgot to say, if you need a little support, you can have your back to a wall. Ready? Arms up. Left arm under the right. Hug yourself like you love yourself or bind the arms. Bend the knees. Knees are soft and flexible. Raise the left foot off the ground or wrap it behind the right. Fly like an eagle. 1, 2. Lift those elbows, lower those hips. 3, 4, 5. Unwrap your arms, come back to mountain pose. Take a few free breaths here. All right, good, relax and release. All right, we're gonna take it back to the front of our mat. And remember those flexible, soft knees. Don't forget them. Bounce your knees a little bit. And then we're gonna stretch our arms all the way up, high mountain, and fold it forward. Soft knees. Come up flat back, halfway lift. Breathe out and fold. Now, you can add a vinyasa here or just step back to down dog. All right. From downward facing dog. Pedal it out or be straight and still, whatever you'd like. And then take a breath here, take a deep breath here, relax, and root through your left foot. We're going to raise the right leg again, and getting ready for pigeon. Bring the knee towards, the right knee towards the wrist. Go back with the left, stretch it back. And you can tent your fingers, lift your chest. You can wiggle out your shoulders if you like. And come to the version that feels good to you. Now I'm going to show you, you're just going to face down. You can be face down. And if you don't like pigeon that way, you can lie on your back and do it this way. Shaping the pose, shaping the breath. Last 2 breaths here in whatever version of the pigeon. So if you are on your back, you'll notice you're just going to stay there and switch sides. If you're in the pigeon that we started at the beginning, just press into your hands, lift the chest, and back to down dog. Anchor through your right heel, lift your left leg, and bring your left knee to your left thumb. Reach back with your right leg, top of the foot on the floor, and lower down, face down pigeon, resting pigeon, 5 breaths, or do it on your back. 1. This is a good place to let go of things that aren't serving you for self-growth and realization. 2. 3. 4. And 5. If you're on your back, just stay there. We'll catch up with you. Pigeon, press up. And this time, take your right arm to find your right leg. There it is. Grab it and carry it forward. We're going to lie safely down on our back, just rolling down to our back. And give your back a little massage. If you want to be a little more adventurous and it feels like something you'd want to do, you can rock and roll with me. Hold on behind your legs, rock up and down the spine. Notice I said spine. That for today, that does not mean your neck. So don't roll on your neck, just your upper back and shoulders maybe. So rocking and rolling. And this is just to shift the energy and not to feel so serious. If you don't want to rock and roll, just do something else. All right, last one to come all the way back down. Yeah, come all the way back down. And a baby bridge flow. So palms face down. Root through your palms and your heels of your feet and lift the hips like a little bridge. When you come to the top of the breath and you can't breathe anymore, breathe out and slowly with containment and control, lower your hips. So that's our flow. Keep it going. Notice the little pause at the very top of the inhale. Notice the little pause at the very bottom of the exhale. Now let's build the best bridge we can for us today, whatever that means for you. You can go as deep into it as you'd like, or keep it light and relaxed. 4 breaths wherever you are. 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice the strength it takes to do what you're doing, and then softly let it go. Come all the way back. Take a breath here. And then I'd like you to bump your hips to the left, all the way to the left, and carry your knees to the right for a twist. Stretch your left arm out long, look to the left. Become a free breather here. Good. And slowly come back to the middle. And then bump your hips off to the right side of the mat and let your knees come to the left. Stretch your right arm out, turn your head to the right. You've got it. Last cycle of breath here. And then all the way back to the center. Okay, you can choose to do something that feels good to you right now. And then if you need something else, and then we're going to move into Shavasana. I was watching these really old yoga videos with a teacher. Her name is Lilias Folong. Maybe some of you used to watch her. I never did, but I'm just discovering her now. Anyway, Lilias, whenever she came to Shavasana, in yoga, it means the corpse, the end of the practice. But she always called it the sponge posture. And I kind of like that. it makes me think of we're absorbing all the benefits of the work that we've done. So yeah, Lily has always called it sponge. And it's also a different way of looking at Shavasana too, a different perspective, calling it sponge posture. Yeah, I see folks working hard. Oh, I see a blanket. Someone's getting a blanket on them. Sandra? Sus- Susie is stretching those hamstrings out. So our session is winding down now, and we're coming to Shavasana. So I would like you to try and approach Shavasana with a different viewpoint today, and maybe think of it as a chance of your body to not only absorb the work that you've done, but maybe make a little shift once we leave our mat today, a little shift to see life differently. And also use this time to release. Remember, what you release releases you, right? So get down and start letting go and releasing. If you need to wiggle out or roll out any parts of your body, do that. Never forget that this posture Shavasana is such a gift to give to yourself. So I know I've talked a lot. I'm just going to say one more thing and then let you guys relax. So in this session, I invited you to notice your habitual thoughts and movements, and maybe try to find a fresh way of doing things or fresh perspective. I'd like to close now while you're savoring sponge pose with a quote. And this quote says it all to me. we can only be said to be alive in those moments when our hearts are conscious of all our treasures. Thornton Wilder. When our hearts are conscious of all our treasures. So let that guide you as you appreciate all the treasures in your life. Enjoy your Shavasana.